Skrillz, how old were you your first time visiting Riker's Island?
Actually crossing that bridge, because I've been there, but I ain't crossed the bridge. Crossing that bridge, I was 32 years old, teaching for the Department of Ed, and I was teaching for a few years actually. I had a student who had already graduated, but got caught up, and he was in the car with somebody with some work, and he got locked up with that person because he was at the wrong place at the wrong time with the wrong person. So he was locked up. I went to go see him.
How old was he?
Must have been 19.
Wow.
Maybe 20.
And you guys had a relationship out of just plain knowing him from the school? Was it a student that you saw frequently? Were you there for moral support and he didn't know you were coming?
Nah, this was my man 100 grand. He was a kid who had a lot going on at the time, tough childhood, tough parental life, a lot of struggles, dealing with a lot. But the school I taught at, if you took public transportation, it wasn't easily accessible from the neighborhood that I grew up in, and he just so happened to live in the neighborhood that I grew up in. So while he was going to school, some days I would take him to school. He wasn't getting there. He had shaky attendance. So for him to have good attendance, I would pull up. Day I got a new car. One of the first people to ride in my car was my boy. I didn't even tell him. First one in my car. Brand new car. So that was my man 100 grand. But like I said, he ended up being at the wrong place at the wrong time and, got put in a situation that I don't think he was fully ready for.
Did you let him know you were going to go visit?
100%. I feel like you don't want to just pop up on somebody. I think when I got there, though, he was shocked because he didn't actually believe it. He didn't think I would pull up. And it's like, what? Like, what do you mean? Like,
what was your perception of Rikers prior to going to visit this person?
I'm a born and raised New York City person. So, like, growing up in the time that I grew up in, like, the DVD era especially, like, I knew what time it was on Rikers. Like, I didn't read enough Don Divas and Felon magazines and seen enough smacks to know what was happening there. Plus, I got friends who worked inside of there. So I knew it was a terrible place. And it wasn't actually the first prison I had visited, unfortunately, but it was the first time I crossed the bridge and to go to Rikers, and I knew it was going to be, a shithole. That's what I was looking forward to experiencing, and it lived up to its name or its reputation.
How was that initial visit? You guys locking eyes, shaking hands, giving each other a hug. Was it blissful? Was it like, did you feel some sort of empathy? You felt bad for him, seeing him in those conditions?
Yeah, seeing my mans was joyous. It was nice to see him. I knew what it meant to be there, and I don't mind. Like, it was of no skin. Like, it was no harm to me. Like, it meant something for me to be there, and I enjoyed being there. I loved being that support. I knew that's something that would help him, help him get through the day, the week, the moment, whatever it was. I just knew that little bit would be something for him. So being there was great. I could tell how excited he was. Like, he was also like, nobody wants to be, I guess, seen in that light. Like, that's not anyone's most proud moment to be on that side of the table, for sure. But I think our relationship was a little deeper than, like, I'm not there to hold you accountable for being, like, for what got you here. I care more about you, the person. And I was there for the person. I wasn't really there for the you shouldn't be, none of that. So we had a great conversation, and I wasn't alone. I actually went with a coworker, a former coworker of mine, another teacher. So it wasn't just me who was there supporting him. He had two people who was locked and loaded.
Did you guys have to ask for permission?
From the family?
From the family and possibly the Board of Ed?
Nah, I never even thought about it. Like, what I do in my free time is my free time, and who I support, he wasn't even a student, like, at the time. So I don't know. I don't even think I spoke about it To anybody really, like, you'd have to know, because it wasn't nobody's business. My principal at the time 100% didn't know no.
Did your visit, can you see that your visit kind of helped him, gave him a little light at the end of his tunnel, regardless of what happened to him after, whether he blew trial, did he come home? Like, just you going to visit him, did it give him some motivation?
Yeah, I think he felt the support. He felt the love. Like, he knew no matter what, no matter when, where, like I always said, the consistency is there. Somebody's there for you, they're there for you. And don't matter where you are at life, like, anything can happen to anybody. And as a person I'm a black man, and I know what time it is. So, like,
do you guys still have that same relationship?
Our relationship is forever, man. It's never ever, nothing will ever change. The bond we have, the brotherhood we have, and all of that. But with any student, like, I feel like that with anybody, not even a student, anybody I have that with, like, that's our relationship.
Especially going through Riker'S album.
But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't wish that on nobody. And I like getting the stories from my mans while he was in there, like, not knowing when he's getting out, like, he's just dealing with random months at a time. Like, he's talking to me in months, and like, yo, if this is that, it was just crazy. And he really had no clue, like, when and if he was getting out. Like, plus the pandemic hit. Like, it was just a wild time. And I really felt for him, because it's the only way to know how to support is to be there for whatever the person needs when they're on that side of the table, that side of the wall. But it just hurts because you don't got no answers. I can't tell you, and they know I don't know, but we